Welcome back. In our top business story, UAE inflation slowed to a three-month low of 1.3% year-on-year in July, down from 1.7% the previous month, according to data from the National Bureau of Statistics. The figures show that accommodation costs and utility bills fell 1.6% last month from the previous month, the biggest drop in 6 months. According to a local paper, analysts say that consumer prices have fallen off the back of lower housing costs and US dollar weakness, and that the overall inflation number will stay low this year due to a fall in rents. Regional investors are increasingly turning their attention towards foreign exchanges and gold, as currencies fluctuate and the precious metal continues to appeal as a safe haven in the wake of the Eurozone crisis. The Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange announced today that year-to-date volumes reached more than 2 million contracts, valued at $98.7 billion, a 76% rise from last year. According to a local paper, financial experts say that investors in the region are increasing their exposure through both hedging and speculation. Experts also say that trading FX and commodities allows for increased access to liquidity and further diversification for investor portfolios. Additionally, the DMCC unveiled the prototype of the first gold coin in the UAE today. Designed by the DMCC, the Khalifa coin features a portrait of the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on one side, and on the other, the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower. The authority is also in discussions with the UAE Central Bank to designate the gold bullion coin as the first legal tender in the UAE and the Middle East as a whole. MR Properties has announced a 20% rise in its hospitality revenues for Q2, from over 236 million dirhams in the same period in 2010 to over 283 million dirhams. According to a local paper, experts stated that the retail sector is showing signs of strength, with successful occupancy rates in Dubai Mall, the Dubai Marina Mall and the Address Downtown. This rise in numbers has been attributed to the view of the UAE as being a safe destination. Income from commercial unit sales and land rose from just over 176 million dirhams in Q2 last year to over 596 million this year. And now let's take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our world business news, as Eurozone countries scramble to solve the currency's block debt crisis, members of the German government are digging in their heels against calls for common Eurozone government bonds. German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble said that there would be no sharing of debts and not an infinite amount of aid available. Economy Minister Rosler also spoke out, stating that Eurobonds are the wrong way to go, as it would punish economically sound countries that were doing their homework, like Germany, which enjoy a good credit ranking and therefore pay low interest rates. He added that Eurobonds would mean high taxes. French President Nicolas Sarkozy is expected to try to get German Chancellor Angela Merkel on board with the so-called Eurobonds when they meet in Paris on Tuesday. Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh stated that his government will take adequate steps to combat spiralling inflation in the country. Addressing the nation after hoisting the flag in the national capital today, Singh said that his government was keeping a close watch on spiralling prices and added that it was the responsibility of his government to control price rises. He stated that the country is passing through a phase of sustained high inflation as the prices of petroleum products and food grains have risen steeply in international markets, which India imports. Inflation in India's economy has remained above 9%, spurring policymakers to also scale down their growth expectations. Singh added that in the last 7 years, the country's economy has grown despite the global downturn in 2008. And finally, data released today showed that Japan's economy contracted at a slower pace than expected in the second quarter, as output and exports recovering from the devastating earthquake in March. However, a soaring yen, which could hit Japanese exports' competitiveness, and a slowing global growth clouded the outlook for the economy. Gross domestic product shrank 0.3% in the second quarter, less than a median forecast for a 0.7% contraction. Japan's economics minister, Yaoru Yosanzo, said that the money being used to rebuild the devastated northeastern parts of Japan will help the economy recover. And before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil, precious metals and currency markets. After that, we have the day's sports news for you.